Hello, my fellow Chaos Goblins. I'm Tiberius, and if you're new here, I am a Chaos Goblin. I do crafts and cleaning videos, and I'm absolutely feral. Today, we're going to be making this suit jacket right here because I have a wedding I need to go to, and I have nothing to wear. So, I don't know what I'm doing. I actually really suck at reading patterns. I've been sewing since I was 5, but I'm bad at reading patterns, and I usually have to watch a video of the pattern being put together. I could not find a good video of this being put together, so I thought, why don't I try to make a video and put it together? So maybe somebody can learn from how badly I'm going to mess this up, or, maybe it'll turn out awesome. I've actually already cut out the outside of the jackets, but I'm going to be making it a little bit bigger, so I'm going to make the side panel. The side panel, I think, is what I need to make bigger. Not really sure, not very confident, but I'm going to make the side panel and the front a little bit bigger. And so I've already cut out the outside. I'm actually cutting out the lining now, and I'm actually halfway through this process because I decided, this could be entertaining. So I decided to start filming. Anyway, let's get into it. This is the sleeve here. And I actually already cut it short because I have teeny tiny T-Rex arms, Rawr. So I'm going to be cutting it according to what I've already cut out instead of the pattern itself. So that way I make sure I have the same size. And I don't have a lot of fabric. So I'm hoping I can get it correct, like without, using all of the fabric and not having more fabric to fix it if I do up on it. But hopefully I will be competent enough, just enough to get it done right the first time. Actually, I'm thinking maybe I should pen this a different way because I want to make sure I have enough room. Let me actually just go ahead and go for the side panel wherever I put the side panel. So I'm going to go ahead and try and make this bigger. I'm only going to make this side here bigger. This is what the piece looks like. And I'm going to be making this side right here bigger because I think that that would be correct. Don't know. But we're going to figure it out. And I'm going to start making it quite a bit bigger because I figure it's easier to make it too big and then size it down from there than to make it too small. And like I said, I had already cut it out with this fabric here. So I'm actually going to set this fabric to the side and use it for a quilt later so it doesn't go to waste. And then I'll use what I cut out of this. This is the lining here. So I'm going to use what I cut of the lining to cut the piece of this outside fabric here. Put that in scraps. I just had to check and make sure my mic was actually on. I made an ASMR video yesterday and I forgot to turn the microphone on, so I had to dub music over it, which sucked because it was like a really great, lots of noises that people like, you feel me? And I don't want to make the arm piece bigger, so it's kind of going to go down like diagonally to make it bigger instead of just all the way around bigger. Okay. I'm gonna use one of my tools here. I love this thing. If you're sewing, invest in one of these because they're amazing. Okay. I'm actually realizing this curves up a little, so I don't know. I guess I just do it according to this. I need my pencil that I need to sharpen a little. I would say normally I'm more prepared than this, but if you've seen my videos, you know that's not true. So I think I'm gonna make it, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 inches bigger. So I'm gonna mark it right here. This does curve, so I'm going to be marking up very slowly. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of moving it to and turning it with the thing. And let's see, I can go 2 inches up there. So I'm moving it back and going up 2 inches because that's when it starts to curve again. See, it curves again 2 more inches. It's probably an easier way to do this, but I don't know how or what the easier way is, to be honest. So I'm doing it this way. You know, I have pattern drafting tools, which I realize I could use here, but I don't actually know how to use them yet. Got them off Temu a little bit ago. Okay, so did there. We can do 1 inch up because that's how long that area of curve lasts. Now we go back. Go up 1 more inch. Okay, so we're right here. And from there, it looks like it's just kind of straight up. So I'm just gonna that's not gonna be a good idea. So I'm actually taking it down a bit. And so I'm gonna go back down a bit. And mark it like that. And then I'll just get a baby wipe and wipe that little piece off. I'd move the camera down and show you what it looks like from here. Let me turn my tripod light on. That's not plugged in. And I'm just gonna remove that little mark right there. Okay. make that a little darker because it's kind of light in some spots. Now I'm going to cut it out. And hopefully we did not mess things up. But in the event that this comes out too small for me, you can find it on my Etsy shop or my eBay shop. I'll post it on both. Usually things are cheaper on my eBay shop because I prefer eBay, and they don't charge you as much of a fee as Etsy does for posting stuff. Because Etsy charges like a stupid amount. Like, you can post anything on eBay for free. And they just take a percentage out, and the percentage is either the same or a little less than Etsy, I think. I don't know. I just like eBay. I just really don't like Etsy. I have an Etsy shop, but I really hate Etsy. But I'm gonna post it to probably both, because some people prefer buying on Etsy, some people prefer buying on eBay. It really just depends on the person. Which I'll link both shops down below, because I do have items on there for sale, some of my paintings that, you know, if you go there and you like it, please buy it. I'm poor. Really poor. I'm starting college soon, though, so hopefully, well, I mean, I can't say, you know, I won't be poor in the future, because I'm going for social work, and, you know, anything about social work, you know, it really does not pay very well at all. But it's the only thing that I'm interested in doing for a living, is helping other people. So, yay. There's a little hangover right there that it's going to bother me if I don't get that. Okay, that's good. So this is what our piece looks like. And we'll find out if it works later. Okay. Now I'm going to scooch this back. Wipe off the rest of this white here, so it doesn't show through. And there's a little bit left, but it'll come out in the washing machine when I wash the garment. And also, it doesn't really matter because it's the lining. Let me make sure that's lined up all the way. Okay, yeah. Also, I really hope I made these sleeves the right length. I'm going to be pretty pissed if I didn't. But I'll go back through and I'll alter if I didn't. I have very short arms, and according to what I measured, this is correct. But also, I failed math multiple times. I mean, I passed high school. I didn't get held back a grade, but I did have to go to like credit recovery and tutoring to, you know, pass math. And then not high school, and then college. When I first went to college the first time, I had to do remedial math. So it was basically like a refresh of high school math. So I'm not competent. Sorry, I'm not competent. I'm not confident in my measuring skills and the math that I did. I'm not really competent either, but, you know, I can fake that part pretty well. Also, I'm listening to sea shanties. I don't know if you can actually read the screen, but I was listening to sea shanties. I turned it off. I should turn the TV off, but it's actually, there's light, and it's actually really dark in my craft room. There's not a lot of light. So I need all the light I can get. And I'm probably gonna, when I stop thinking of things to say, turn the music on and just time lapse the stuff. Which I've been doing that a lot lately. I've just been voicing over videos instead of doing it live. Let me know which you guys prefer, those of you that have seen my other videos, if you prefer me talking live or if you prefer when I do the voiceovers. Because I would love feedback, please. Even if you think the videos suck, I appreciate feedback. Well, provided you can be like, these suck, here's how to make them better. Don't just be like, hey, this sucks. Because what's the point in that? If you're going to say it sucks, tell me how I can make it better. Don't just be a and say it sucks. Even if it does suck. Also, I had this conversation the other day. Like, I'm autistic, so there's a lot of social shit that I don't get. And I had this conversation the other day of, why do people ask for opinions and thoughts on something when they just want you to praise what they did? Like, I find that in I get in trouble in a lot of art groups when they ask, they want, what do you think? And you don't say, something that's a praise, they get upset, even if it's not criticism. Even if it's not criticism, just unless it's, you did a great job, people don't want to hear it. I'm okay with hearing when I do bad because it helps me do better in the future. So when I ask for something, I almost always mean what I say, but I do misspeak a lot. So take that as you will. You're big enough for scraps, so I'm going to put you in with the scraps. I look so good when this gets done. That is hanging over. And you don't need to be hanging over. There we go. So there is a sleeve. We have a sleeve now. Where did I put the paper for the sleeve is the $1 million question at the moment. Because that's not it. Oh, there it is. I have an order, and I have to set everything according to that order, or else I will not be able to find anything. And the order only makes sense to me. Okay. I'm actually going to move the camera over a little bit more. There we go. That's better. I'm going to close this closet that has all my cleaning in it. These are too small. Go ahead and cut that. Put these in the trash. I'm trying not to save. I had a big problem of saving all my like teeny tiny scraps. And it was just super overwhelming. So yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. Oh, here's the other part of the sleeve that I already cut out. Put that there. I need to cut you out later, so I'm leaving you there. Oh, this is the back. So I already cut the back out. Put you here. And the back staying the same size. Which may or may not be a mistake. I don't know. The back just looked like a hard piece to redo. Do I even have enough to make this piece bigger? And let's see. Yeah, that should be enough. Yeah, that should be enough. I'm going to unpin this and put it in my scrap box because I'm about to make this piece bigger too. Just the front of it. And I've already got the collar, this cut out, and you don't need lining for the collar. Well, you need interfacing for the collar, but you don't need lining. Also, cutting interfacing out is going to be fun. And I mean that sarcastically because I bought interfacing because Joann's is closed. The only other fabric stores in town are for quilting, so they don't have the kind of interfacing I need. So I had to order it off Amazon, and they came on a roll. So yeah, probably gonna have to somehow find a way to double it up because I'm fat and the rolls aren't that wide. Put this in scraps. Okay. So I don't want to make this piece bigger. Or do I want to make that piece bigger? I don't know how this connects. I don't know how this connects, but I feel like I don't need to make the bottom bigger, but I might need to make this a little wider. Let's look at the directions. Maybe I can piece together part of the directions. Maybe I can understand something. There's like a lot of directions in this. Okay, that's just how to cut it. Wait, or is there actual blah, blah, blah? That's how to cut it. What even? Okay, that's not the step I need. That's pain. This is confusing. Like, I can watch somebody sew something and I can recreate it. I have the type of brain that can recreate things or make them up myself and know how to attach them. But reading other people's instructions just confuses me, and that's useless. So I'm just gonna... I'll just make the side piece bigger. I don't think that little flappy piece is probably not important. Famous last words, but we're just gonna go for it. I don't know. Maybe I should make it just... I don't know. This is not a tutorial. I am putting a disclaimer once again. This is not a tutorial. This is my ass not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. So I'm getting hot. Why is it hot in here? It's normally freezing in here. I don't know why I'm hot. Normally the craft room's like the coldest room in the house. And I'm just freezing in here all the time. Why am I trying to pin it in the middle? I hope this is right. I don't have much fabric left to make mistakes if it's not. Okay. Now. Okay. Trying to think of, so this is curved and it starts curving like right here. So I'm gonna just kind of do like that. And I'm just gonna kind of wing it. I'm not gonna trace it out or anything. I'm just gonna kind of do what I think needs to be done. That seems like it's probably right. We'll find out once we get to putting this together. Okay, so that's big. That goes in scrap. Also, I don't even really know how to quilt. I'm trying my best to learn. And I only use my scraps because I don't see a purpose in just, I mean, some people like to quilt that way, but I'm here to make clothes, you know? I don't want to make quilts, so I just only make quilts with scrap fabric that's left over. I mean, thumbs up if you just like watching a disaster in action. Because it's kind of what we're doing here. Disaster in action. There. Okay. Now, I think this is big enough for a scrap. Now I'm going to take what I just cut out here and cut out of the outside part so it's the same size. Because I figured it would be a really dumb idea to try and eyeball it and make it the same size twice. I feel like that would take some kind of miracle. And I don't have enough time. Normally, I don't even measure things, I just kind of do it. But, yeah, can't afford to do that right now. I actually have to make 2 suits, so what we get wrong on this one, we can figure out how to do it right with at least the next one, because it's like a 2 ceremony wedding. Like there's an Indian ceremony because the relative is that they're getting married to is Indian, so there's gonna be like an Indian wedding and then like a traditional Western wedding. So I need 2 outfits. Put that there for now. I don't recall in which direction I did all of this. So it may be mix match, but I feel like the pattern's so busy that no one will notice except for me, and it will kill me on the inside for years to come. But I'm already kind of dead inside, so I think it's going to be fine, you know? I think there's just like barely enough. There's a wrinkle right there. Let me get that wrinkle out. I'm not going to iron it, but that the fold? That is the fold. Okay, never mind. I'm going to keep it where it is. See if I can move this a little closer to the edge. Just so there's, just in case I need to make a little slivery of a little panel. A little bit of baby panel, just in case I really up on this. This might end up being like a multiple part video at this point, because I know I move slowly. I move so slow, it pisses me off. I have cognitive function issues, obviously. But I am going my fastest. Which is why I can't work like service industry, like food service. I tried, it didn't go well. Did not go well at all. Plus, I called my boss stupid and got fired, but, you know, I was young. He was being stupid, just so you know. Like, he was telling me things to do things a certain way that didn't make any sense. And there were, like, more efficient ways to do it. Also, I never want to work food service again. Even like I can't, but I never want to again because I never want to have to clean a grease trap. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the smell of a grease trap, but have you ever smelt an old man taking a because that's what it smells like. It smells like an old man taking a Be nice to food service workers, like seriously. Especially minimum wage ones, they do not get paid enough. And I hate that argument that, you know, if you want to make more money, get a better job. Like, there aren't enough jobs that exist for everyone to get a better job. And even if everyone did get a better job, someone still needs to work those jobs. Just how it works. And I don't think they deserve to get, you know, live in absolute fucking poverty because of it either. It's not possible to live off minimum wage here in Nashville, like at all. You'd have to have 3 minimum wage jobs, and if you had 3 minimum wage jobs, when would you sleep? And everyone's like, oh, well, those are just meant for high schoolers. And I was like, you know, I really like getting a McDouble at lunchtime, you know, not having to wait all the way till like 4 o'clock when school is over to get a McDouble. And that would limit the time that it would be open. It would only be able to be open between like 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. because they need to, you know, do homework and go to sleep. So that's a stupid argument. And I am actively calling you stupid if that's your argument. Full offense. I saw a video earlier where, well, not earlier, it was like several days ago at this point, but someone commented, this woman made this video doing that Sabrina Carpenter song, you know, Man Child, and she says, is it stupid or maybe it's slow at the opening of it, you know? And the woman's using it to voice over about her having the gastric sleeve done and how people are saying it's, you know, the easy way out, and it's really stupid for people to say that, which it is, because it's not the easy way out at all. It's actually way more fucking difficult. But that's neither here nor there. And then someone commented, calling someone stupid for their opinion is wild. And it's just like, bro, they're opinions, not facts. they can be stupid and wrong because they're opinions and not facts. And people get the two mixed up a lot. Like me believing that, workers deserve more than just minimum wage is an opinion. It's not something that can be proven. It's, an thing to disagree with, but it's not something that can be proven or disproven. Therefore, it's an opinion, not a fact. Though the thing about there not being enough jobs for everyone to get a better job is an actual fact. You can look up the number of jobs in the US and find out which percentages are minimum wage. You can take out, fast food positions. You can look all the statistical information up on Google, and you will see there are not enough jobs for everyone to get a better job. It doesn't even make sense for that to be an argument. And then if from there your argument is, well, only unskilled people, when unskilled labor is not a thing, all labor involves skill. All of it. You just don't respect the skill that people have. And if you want to make the argument that, people of a certain demographic, say, for an example, people with like Down syndrome, they should be working those jobs and they should only make that minimum amount. That's still really messed up to say, because then they'd still be living in poverty too. And nobody deserves to live in poverty. No one. But again, that's technically an opinion because I can't prove it. I just think you're a piece of if you disagree that some people should live in poverty. And another piece is done. We put that there. And we throw this out. And we put this piece on top of that piece so we know which piece it is. Now we're doing this piece, which we're about to cut out of this. Oh God, is there not enough? Oh, there is just barely enough. Just by the skin of our teeth, there is enough. Actually, you know what? I take that back. You know who does deserve to live off minimum wage? Fucking politicians. We'd get fixed so fast if politicians, instead of making the hundreds of thousands of dollars a year that they make, made minimum wage. We'd get solved real quick. And I criticize every politician. I don't think anybody should treat politics like it's a team sport. Because if you're not looking for the ways that they're wrong, then you just let that slide and things go into further corruption. And it's important that we hold politicians accountable for their. And the people who are like, I'm not political, are just wild to me, because I cannot fathom what it's like to have that much privilege that you're just not political. by choice because I'm trans. I have to be political because people want it to be illegal to be me. So, kind of got to be political. Also, disabled, and people don't want me to exist according to certain policies. So, also forced to be political, like whether I want to or not. Would love to not be. Would love to not be. I bet the people that aren't, their brains are just like brrr all the time. You know, just super chill and relaxed. Okay. Put that in scrap bucket. And, oh, that's not cut all the way. Oopsies. Apparently, I do this thing sometimes where I'll get one side of the fabric, but not both. I hate it when I do that. I'm going to have a lot of swearing to censor out of this later, which means I have to listen to my voice for, I think this video is already an hour, maybe, or almost an hour. I'm going to have to listen to my voice for an hour. Hate doing that. I hate my voice. A lot of people like it, though. Don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's my own voice is the reason I don't like it. Okay. Now I need to cut interfacing. Where that needs interfacing. I think that's the only thing that needs interfacing. The pockets need interfacing. It just says it needs lining. But I kind of feel like I should do interfacing. I'm apparently just going to stare off into space and debate this for like, I'll come back to it. I'll think about the pros and cons of doing interfacing on that. So I'm going to do interfacing for the collar. Ah. You can't see me because I'm off screen, but I just dropped a thing behind my dream box. And I knocked some more stuff off my dream box. That's fun. It's a fun thing to do. That's not even the right interfacing. Get your together, Tiberius. There's the right interfacing. No, that's still not it. Is that it? Which one of these is medium? That feels thin. That thicker than that? Okay, that is thicker than that. So I'm going to use a medium weight interfacing. I don't know the exact weight on it. I don't think anything else needs interfacing other than the collar. This is an iron-on fusible interfacing. Which actually, you know what I'm going to do? Because it's a big long strip, is I'm actually going to just take the collar each side. Can I put it both on the same? No. Okay. So I'm just going to take this apart. This is very thin fabric. Is that even going to be, that's not going to be enough. I'm going to use my heavyweight interfacing because this fabric is awfully thin. And I think, yeah, I'm going to use this medium weight for the pockets. So I'll leave that out. Oh, heavyweight. Where are you? Please don't fall down. Okay. Got my heavyweight. Might be too heavy. I don't know. We'll find out. Can't fix it if it's wrong. Why is it so hot in here? I'm going to take a break in a minute after I get all this cut out and like turn my air up. and get water because I'm sweaty. Because I'm not doing any physical activity. I shouldn't be sweating like this. Like, I'm not exerting any energy doing this at all. Ow. That hurt. It's hard to get through this thicker interfacing. I don't want to use my sewing scissors on the interfacing, so I'm going to use these other scissors over here. Where are my other scissors? There they are. I'd rather use these. They couldn't cut the fabric if they wanted to, but they can cut this interfacing. I use them mostly. I use them mostly. I use them mostly for paper craft and whatnot. This might actually be too thick. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's going to end up being too thick because I'm trying to fold it now because it's going to need to be folded. I do know that much. And it's not going to be able to fold. Okay, so I just wasted all that. Let's try again. At least with the I can't talk tonight. I'm going to use the medium interfacing instead. Because I know the lightweight would be too thin. Way too thin. But I think I will pull out the lightweight for the pockets. I'm making corsets later, so the heavyweight will come in handy. Just not right now. Cut that so I can throw that out. I will put you back later. Okay, back to medium. Ah, oh well, I'll pick that up in a minute. It's not going anywhere. Unless it decides to magically walk away. I have a toothache. I need to go to the dentist. I'm just terrified of the dentist. So I avoid going as long as possible, and it's been too long. I need to go. This I am going to use the sewing scissors to cut out because it's woven, so it should be fine for the sewing scissors. The heavyweight, not so much, or at least I didn't foresee it being good for the heavyweight. But the reason why I'm cutting out the collar individually onto the interfacing itself is just so I don't have to try and struggle and match it up later when I'm ironing it to there, you know? You feel me? Save myself a little bit of trouble. Because matching up interface can sometimes just be a pain in the ass. Gonna set this over here. We work on that in a minute. Ow, my back. I'm old. I'm old now. Get that out. Well, that could have been really bad. There was a pin in the floor. Alright, so I have everything cut out now. I'm gonna take a break, and when I come back, I'm gonna pin everything together, which I may or may not film. Probably will film. Should film. Should film. But will I? Yeah, I'll film it. Alright. See you guys in the next part. What we're doing now is I'm ironing down the interfacing, and I'm going to be cutting the more interfacing, because I forgot that I needed interfacing for the upper collar, the under collar, and the back facing. And they all say to cut on the fold, so we're going to figure that out somehow. But first I'm going to iron this down. And there's still a pin in there, and that would have been really bad if the iron went over that. I try to get dead in the center first, because I feel like everything just falls into place from there. When he comes to ironing, it is curling up at the ends, and this is just one side of the collar. I already ironed the other side of the collar, and then realized that I didn't start recording. So yeah, that's how my brain's going. It's like 2:30 in the morning. Oh, I need to take my medicine. Oh my god. It's like 2:30 in the morning. I need to take some Tylenol real quick. I'll be right back. Which is actually funny. So I realized I wasn't filming, and then my alarm for 2:30 went off to take more Tylenol because I have a toothache, which is why I'm not asleep right now. Should probably try and sleep, but it hurts so bad. And it's well, technically now it's Monday morning, but you know, I can just make calls first thing in the morning if I just avoid sleeping. So that's what we're doing here right now. Also, this smells so weird. The interfacing it smells so weird. It's pretty good. I got it off Amazon. It wasn't very expensive, but I've used it for a couple projects now, and it seems to be really good. So I'm gonna use it in the future. Just make certain things like this difficult. If anybody knows a good place where I can get, you know, traditional interfacing where it's on folded like fabric. Is my mic on? Okay, my mic is on. Where it's folded like, you know how fabric's folded instead of on a roll, let me know in the comments. I would be very grateful. Okay, so these are supposed to be cut on the fold. Let me move the camera down a little bit. So I guess what I'm gonna do is actually, you know what? What I'm gonna do that makes a lot of sense now that I'm thinking about it is I'm just gonna unpin this and pin it to the fabric the way it's supposed to be and iron it on and just save myself a lot of trouble instead of trying to cut out with the pattern piece, which is genius. Not really, it's just I should have thought of it sooner, but I didn't. Forethought's not my forte. Watched the Suicide Squad recently, not Suicide Squad, but the Suicide Squad. And is that right? I don't feel like that's right. Is that cut correctly? It appears to be cut correctly. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't look right, but I don't know. Try to move this up a little. Get as much on there as possible, so we have as little waste as possible. Pin you there. Robbie was great as Harley Quinn. Suicide Squad, the first one, could have been so much better. It could have been so much better. But we just had to have the very inaccurate Harley Joker relationship played by the absolute worst Joker, Jared Leto. Is Leto or Leto? I don't know. He's the worst. Fight me. Personally, my favorite will always be Cesar Romero. My second favorite is Mark Hamill. Let me know down in the comment who your favorite Joker is. Because mine's definitely Cesar Romero. I actually have a Cesar Romero Funko Pop of Cesar Romero as the Joker, and it even has where his mustache is covered up, which I just think is so cute. Nose is itchy. But yeah, I love it. That's a really cool detail to have. There's going to be enough room for this one. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'd be better. How well is that going to fit right there? Yeah, it's going to fit well enough. Okay, yeah. Just trying to make sure I do everything to have enough space. Was there only supposed to be really not supposed to be any of the inner lining on this? It just says cut one on fold of fabric. Doesn't say anything about inner lining. So I guess no idea how this is going to go together. We'll figure it out, though. Figure it out together. At least I'm making another one of these, so I'll, at the least of me this up, at least I'll know for the second jacket, hopefully, how to not up. Oh, that's not going to be enough for right there. Okay. It's okay. Because we'll just put this one here. Will Smith was a pretty okay dead shot. He was an okay dead shot. I don't think he was the best dead shot, but I think Deadshot could have been more fleshed out as a character. I think that's my only issue. I think Will Smith did the best of his abilities. I think the directing was just off on that one. Speaking of Batman movies, The Batman with Robert Pattinson is phenomenal. If you have not seen that, it is the most comic book accurate Batman movie we've gotten so far. They finally got the Penguin right, which I'm not going to go into my Tim Burton rant because I hate Tim Burton. One reason, this isn't even like the main reason I hate him, but one reason I hate him is because he f***ed up the character of the Penguin so bad that they started making the Penguin more canon with his version than the comics version, and then it just shifted and kind of went to shit. And we're finally back to what the Penguin's supposed to be now, which I haven't gotten a chance to. I keep meaning to watch it, but I just haven't been in the headspace. You know how sometimes you just got to get in the right headspace to watch something. I just haven't been in the headspace to watch The Penguin on HBO Max. I have watched through Peacemaker though, and I love it. I love the intro to Peacemaker, and that there's just no explanation given for it. Because I feel like if I had an intro, it would be something like that just doesn't make any sense for anyone to be doing. I feel like that's in his mind what's going on, and that's what that intro is. Because I don't know, it's funny. I like Peacemaker. I'm actually super not familiar with the character of Peacemaker, so I'm not as familiar as I am with him as I am like Deadshot and Harley. So I don't know how comic book accurate it is. but I really enjoy John Cena as Peacemaker. How do you guys feel about Peacemaker? Or just comic accuracies or inaccuracies within the film? I hope I can. I can't. I was hoping I could just lay it down like that. But no, it's going to have to go this way. You can at least get it kind of close to that. Now, I think I loved Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey was really good. But I thought it was really good. I love the ongoing joke where Huntress never got to say her name. That was amazing. Though I don't buy that Harley Quinn does not know that Batman is Bruce Wayne. That was my only real issue with Birds of Prey. Uh, yeah, that was my only real issue with Birds of Prey is that like Harley apparently didn't know that Bruce Wayne was Batman, and like she's got a PhD, man, and she's not dumb. She's really smart, so she should know. Or maybe she's just acting like she doesn't know. Who knows? My spouse made that argument earlier. But I feel like what they messed up about Harley's character in Suicide Squad, they fixed in Birds of Prey and in the Suicide Squad. Who is your favorite character in either just let's just say the favorite character in the Batman universe, specifically the Batman universe? Um, who's your favorite character? Poison Ivy is my favorite, and I hope we get a movie with her in it. Also, are you guys a Marvel fan or a DC fan? Also, just let me know that. I love, when you guys interact with me. Like, are you Marvel or DC? Or hey, maybe you're a Dark Horse fan. Which, Dark Horse has some good stuff. I think DC wise, Batman is probably my favorite not character, but I don't know how to word that because I like the Batman comics. That's what I'm trying to say is I really like the Batman comics. DC, the stuff I know about DC is pretty limited. I'm pretty much there's only two that have ever actually interested me, and that's Batman and then Constantine. Which why did they have to fuck the movie up that bad with Keanu Reeves in it? It was they were like, okay, this guy exercises demons. That's all we need to know about the character, and then just did that. But I love Constantine. I really want them to remake the movie and do it accurate. Maybe now that God, I can't think of what anyone's name is, but maybe now that I can't think of what his name is. He directed the new Superman, and he also directed Guardians of the Galaxy. That guy. I hope they keep using him because the Superman movie was I'm not a Superman fan, but it was comic book accurate. Uh, he's just too Boy Scouty for me. That's my whole thing with Superman. And he was always just such a boring character to me. They made him very interesting though. Like they didn't really change anything. They just gave him more of a personality, gave him more passion, you know. But yeah, so that's pretty good. I really want to see a comic book accurate Constantine movie, like dying to just see that. Personally, if I have to talk about my favorite comic, it's X-Men. It's definitely X-Men. They're my favorite, always have been. Uh my see, okay, I don't know if okay, my favorite character is Nightcrawler. But my second favorite character is Magneto. Yeah, Magneto was right, and you can fight me on that. That's not where my trash can is. My trash can's over here. I'm trying to clean up as I go so I don't end up with a giant mess. But yeah, Magneto was right. Fight me. I don't care. Yeah, I didn't like his portrayal in the X-Men movies that came out in the 2000s so much. They made him way more of a terrorist than he really is. Like, don't get me wrong, he's an extremist for sure, but they made him way more terroristy. But yeah, I love Magneto. Trying to think of who my like next favorite X-Men would be. Which I don't judge anybody on who they say their favorite X-Men is unless they say it's Scott. I judge you if you say it's Scott. Cyclops. He's a I think third favorite would definitely be Beast. Yeah, it would be Beast. You guys seen X-Men 97? It was pretty good. I haven't finished it. I'm the worst person to ever watch anything with because like I have such bad ADHD that I cannot watch TV, and X-Men 97's been out for like a couple of years now, and I think I'm only like 2 episodes away from the ending, and I still haven't sat down to watch it. I need to fix that because I love the X-Men. I'm ready to get the X-Men and the MCU because like Scarlet Witch is Magneto's daughter, and I need to have that reveal somehow in the show. I doubt they're gonna bring Scarlet Witch back in any form, but I need that. I need the also Magneto has like a million bastard children. Nightcrawler is one of his children, but he has like a million children, and we need to get into that. That should be like the first thing that goes into the MCU. Or at minimum, Deadpool needs to make a reference to it. Like, just give me something. Give me a little something to go on. Okay. Got that cut out. Okay, let's see. Is this all the way adhered? It needs to be trimmed a little. You know what I'd really comic book movie that I'd really like to see them remake, but it wasn't the original was not bad at all. Uh Tank Girl. Tank Girl needs a remake and an expansion. I can't remember actually which company Tank Girl is through, but we need some Tank Girl in our lives. Okay, now we're gonna iron these bits. Make sure that's still. My iron likes to turn itself off when it's been sitting for too long. There's still a pen. I'm gonna melt my pens to my fabric. I swear, is that ow? That's hot. Good job. Okay, so my mic died, so God only knows what I was saying in this last little part. But I forgot to end the video, so I just wanted to say please like, subscribe, and share. Stay tuned for part 2. And most importantly of all, don't forget to stay chaotic. Love you. Bye.